Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's hard level difficulty puzzle. And it's called New York City by Ik2s. I think it's Ik2s, I2s, or I Tuesday, maybe, I don't know. Um, here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, which are boxes. In addition, we also have diagonals, which cannot have repeats, or another way of putting it is both diagonals must contain all of the digits 1 to 9. I like saying that they don't have repeats because basically then it allows you to just further have that rule set, right? So instead of basically saying like normal Sudoku rules, I guess we could have normal unique diagonal rules. I don't know. Where basically you must fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9, such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, or main diagonals with 9 cells in them. I don't know. That's the way. That's the reason why I phrase the normal Sudoku rules the way I do. Anyways, in we also have in cages, digits must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. So this is typical killer Sudoku rules. So for example, these 6 digits must add up to 37. These 7 digits must add up to 37. These 8 digits must add up to 42. These 3 digits must add up to 20. These 5 must add up to 27. So let's give an example of killer cages that do work and that don't work. So in this cage, we could have something like 72819. And that works because there are no repeats within this cage. And that's another reason why I say there are no repeats in normal Sudoku, because it's a very common rule set, I guess I would say. You can't have repeats within cages, too. You usually can't have repeats within Renban lines or something along those lines. Anyways, this could be an example here of 78219 because it adds up to 27 and there are no repeats within the cage. What you could not have is something like, for example, 37719 because even though it adds up to 27, we have a repeat in the cage and that's not allowed. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. What do we have here? Interesting. So we have an 8. We have an 8-cell cage which adds up to 42. That means it's all the digits from 1 through 9 without a 3, right? Because there's, again, you have all unique, you have no repeats. So you can't have repeats within the cage. So if you have 8 digits adding up to 42, it has to be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 adding up to 42. So that means 3 has to be here, which means 3 cannot be in the rest of this cage. So the rest of this cage, this is 7 digits, which add up to 37. That means we're missing 2 digits, and they must add up to 45 minus 37, which is 8? Yeah, 8. So it's 1, 7, or 2, 6 that's missing here. 1, 7, or 2, 6. These 3 digits must be in this cage. Because otherwise, if it's not, then, well, where can it be in box 2? Can't be anywhere. So it has to be the same as these 3 digits with a 3 here. These two digits then are in one of these digits. Actually, this digit, where is this digit? This digit, right. So let's map out where this digit could be. This digit cannot be any of these digits because it's in the same cage as these 5, and it's in the same box as these 3. This digit then, it cannot be any of these, so it has to be one of these two in box 2. Well, since it's here in this cage in box 2, it can't be any of these digits, so it must be this digit in box 1. Okay. What does that tell us? I'm not sure. um, hmm. We know these 6 digits add up to 37. Hmm. So this can't be 3 again. So these digits, again, are the digits 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This has to have a 3 here, and it's missing 2 digits, which must add up to 8. So it's either 1, 8, sorry, 1, 7, or 2, 6 that it's missing. These 6 digits add up to 37. So we have 3 unique digits, which add up to 45 that are not in this cage, right? That add up to 45 minus 37, which is 8. So 1 can never be in this cage. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We know 1 can never be here. So 1 is either on this cage, sorry, on this diagonal, or it's in this cage. If it's in this cage, it has to be in this cage, then here. Which means it cannot be here. Okay, that's interesting. So this is either 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or it's 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's interesting. Here we have 6 digits, which add up to 25. Which means the 3 digits not in that cage have to add up to 45 minus 25, which is 20. So it's either 3, 8, 9, 4, 3, 8, 9, 4, 7, 9, 5, 6, 9, or 5, 7, 8. So here we're guaranteed this has to have 6, 7, 8, and 9 in this cage. This we don't really have. I guess it's 1 and 2 are guaranteed to be in this cage, right? We don't have a 3 here. Ah. We know, okay, that's interesting. So we know what this digit is. This digit has to be the same as this digit, which has to be the same as this digit, right? Because there's no other place for this digit. So this digit cannot be 3. Well, in this box, we know it's not a 3 because this digit, it's in this box, right? Which doesn't have a 3. 3 cannot be here. 3 cannot be here because this matches here. And this cage already has a 3 here. Where is the 3 then in row 1? It has to be here. So this is 3. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we have, I don't know, we got our first digit. That eliminates 3 in the rest of this diagonal. So 3 can be any of these cells here. That's interesting. We also know this cannot contain a 3, but this could still contain a 3 here, right? Here we have 6 digits adding up to 35. So that must contain an 8 or a 9, right? Because the other 3 digits must add up to 45 minus 35, which is 10. And the largest digit you could have there is 1, 2, and 7. 29's pretty vague, so that's not going to be helpful. This adds up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the sum of these? That's interesting. The sum of these digits is 32 plus 20 plus 27. 32 plus 27 is 59, plus 20 is 79. Okay, we know this adds up to 45. 79 minus 45 is 34. That doesn't really tell us very much. Anyways, actually, yeah, we should be able just to add some of these cages, all these cages together, right? That was interesting, that figuring out that that's a 3, but that's a kind of makes sense actually. But that doesn't get us anywhere else with these cages. So what if we start adding these together? Okay, this is 37 plus 15 plus 35. That seems really large. So 35 plus 15 is 50, plus 37 is 87. That's pretty restrictive. So 35 plus 15 is 50, plus 37 is 87. 87 minus 45 gives you 42. So these 3 plus these 3 add up to 42. Or these 4 plus these 2 add up to 42. That means, at minimum, these 4 digits here and these 2 digits must, well, okay, these 4 digits and these 2 digits must add up to 42. Well, obviously, these 2 can only add up to 17. So 42 minus 17 is 25. So this still could be actually, that doesn't restrict this, unfortunately. However, this is at most 30 here. So therefore, these 2 digits must add up to at least 12. Well, that doesn't really restrict too much, though. 42 minus 24 with 3 unique digits. This adds up to 79. I think that's the same as this, right? This is 79? Yeah, 79 here. So 79 and 79. This is 87. This is much less than 87. 29, 14, and 25. 29 plus 25 is 54, plus 14 is 68. 68 minus 45 is 23. Oh, maybe this is the restrictive one. Because we have a 3 here. So that's pretty restrictive there. 25 again, plus 29 is 54, plus 14 is 68. 68 minus this box would be 45. Oh no, that's much higher. I was thinking it was like 13, which is not. No, it's not that. That's not the case. These 3 digits add up to 16. That doesn't really help us much. 68 minus 45 is 23. So 23 for these 6 digits is still pretty. There's not that much restriction there. So 3 in box 1 has to be one of these 5 digits. That doesn't tell us very much. Interesting. So these both add up to, okay, 79 times 2. That's going to be a lot. 79 times 2 is essentially 80 times 2, subtracting out 2. So that's 160 minus 2, which is 158. 158 plus 68. This is too much math. Okay, let's get a calculator here so that we can more easily try to figure this out. Okay, so again, 37 plus 37 plus 42 plus 25 plus 15 plus 14 plus 35 plus 29 plus 32 plus 20 plus 27 is 313. Now, we could figure out what the sum of these diagonal cells are because we have everything else added up, right? And let's just make sure we have this correctly. So let's go from the left side, 37 plus 15 plus 35. To the bottom, 32 plus 20 plus 27. To the right side, 25 plus 14 plus 29. To the top, 37 plus 42, which is 313. Okay, so that's correct. The rest of the boxes, 8 times 45 is 360 minus 313. So the 6 digits on these diagonals add up to 47. Does that tell us anything? I'm not sure. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. This 32 cage, this is 7 cells large, means that we're missing 2 digits, which add up to 45 minus 32, which is 13. So that's either 495867 or 67, yeah. So this has to have 1, 2, and 3 in this cage. Guaranteed. We don't know where. 3 can't be here. 47. Yeah, this sum doesn't help very much. It's not that restrictive. We have to probably look at the interactions between the cages more. Right. What are the sums of these? Is kind of a good question, right? Maybe? I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. So this cage is either missing 1 7 or 2 6. So we know it has 8 or 9. We know it has 4 or 5. And we know it has 3. Ugh, this is getting very messy. Uh, 29. Hmm. So this is missing 1 7 or 2 6. This is missing a 3. Hmm. These two digits have to be in this cage here, which means it cannot be any of these. So these two digits must be in these surrounding cells here. But there's no restriction on it, other than not being 3, I guess. Um, hmm. Where is the... Okay, so the green cannot be here. So the green on the positive diagonal cannot be here because of this cell. It could be either here, can't be any of these, or it's one of these two, which is still pretty broad. Hmm. Interesting. Let's see. 5 digits adding up to 27. Not that restrictive, I don't think. I think it could have... You could have a non-9 in it. Because 5, 6, 7, 8 adds up to 20. Oh, yeah, 26 with 1. Yeah, so there's no restrictions there. Hmm, what other restrictions do we have? Unfortunately, these cages don't see everything here, right? Hmm. Okay, so this 42 cage is missing a 3, which helped us find out the 3 there. This 37 cage is either missing 1 7 or 2 6. This 37 cage is missing 1 2 and 5 or 1 3 and 4. This 25 cage is missing 3 digits which add up to 20. So it's either 389, 479, 569, or 578. Nothing restrictive about these 15 or 14 cages. There's 35 cage is missing 3 digits, adding up to 10. So it's 127, 136, 145, or 235. Hmm. This 29K is not restricted at all because three digits adding up to 16 it can be any digit combination pretty much. This 7 cell adding up to 32 means the remaining two digits not in the cage have to add up to 13. So it's either 4, 9, 5, 8, 6, or 6, 7. Um, Again, three digits adding up to 20 is 389, 479, 569, or 578. And then five cells adding up to 27 is not restrictive either. Okay. Um, hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. What are the most restrictive? Obviously, this was the most restrictive, and that gave us a 3. I guess this is the second. These two are essentially the second most restrictive, right? Because this is missing either 1 7 or 2 6, and this is missing uh, either 1 2 5 or 1 3 4. Okay. So we probably should target those two. This is actually pretty decently restrictive, right? You're missing either 4 9 5 8 or 6 7. So that's three pairs. This is about as restrictive as that, which is about as restrictive as this. Um, hmm. Which is about as restrictive as this 35 cage, right? You have four combinations that you can check through. This has four combinations. This only has three combinations. This has two, and this has two. This has one combination that we check through. This has four combinations we check through. This has a lot. These have a lot, and these have a lot. Okay. So let's go through the two most restrictive ones then. Um, hmm. If this cannot contain 3 and 4, then the 3 does have to be here, right? Which means 3 cannot be here along this diagonal, and it can't be here. Doesn't really tell us much, though. That means 2 or 5 could be here. That doesn't tell us too much. Okay. What happens if this can't have 1 and 7? Well then, oh, that's interesting. 1 has to be one of these two digits here. Because, yeah, 1 can never be here. Because, well, if it's not in this cage, obviously it can't be here. It could actually still be that green cell, because that could be 1. Um, hmm. 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 Where is the 1 in box 4? It's either here or it's here. If it's here, it's kind of restrictive, actually. 159 or 168, right? If it's here, that's also restrictive here, right? Then that forces this to be, we're missing 2, 3, and 5 here to add up to 10 for the missing digits. So it'd be 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Hmm. So that's pretty restrictive. Still doesn't really tell us very much, though. Okay, so if this is 1, obviously, this has to be 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, because 2, 3, and 5 can't be here. That means only one of these could be 2 or 3 at most. And you can't have both 2 and 3 be here. Oh, that's interesting. So one of these is 2, the other one is 3, right? Because they both can't be here because you're missing either 2, 5 or 3, 4 here. Therefore, the other one has to be here, which is fine. Can this ever be 4, 5, 6? No. Oh, that's interesting. Not necessarily. You could have 2 and 3 here, right? You could be missing 1, 4, 5 here. So that's not that as helpful as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. You could have 2 and 3 here, so you don't have to have a 2 or 3 here. And the 1 would be here then, if that's the case, right? 159, 168, both work. Hmm. If this is 159, obviously 9 can't be here or here, so 9 would have to be here and here. If 9 is here and here, because both of these cages must contain a 9, that means 9 would be here, 9 would be here. That would force 9 to be here. Interesting. So that means 9 could not be here. And 9 could not be here. So 9 would have to be one of those 3 digits here. It could not be the center one, so it would have to be one of these two, which would mean 9 would have to be one of those 3 digits here, right? That's if this is 159. Same with 168, actually. Huh. Interesting. So if this is 1, that forces this to be 159. Where is the 9 in these cages then? The 9 has to be here, and the 9 has to be here, which means 9 cannot be here, or here, or here, or here. Since 9 can't be here, 9 has to be one of these digits, because this cage must contain a 9. This must also contain a 9, so 9 has to be one of these 2 digits here then. So 9 can't be here, 9 can't be along this diagonal, 9 can't be here because of this 159. So this must be, one of these two must be 9, which means one of these three must be 9, right? If that's the case. So one of these two is 9, and one of these three is 9, because 9 can't be here. The 9 being in the central box along this diagonal means this can't be 9 here, which means 9 has to be one of those three. Or if this is 1, 6, 8, you have a similar problem, right? 8 has to be here, 8 has to be here. 8 can't be along this diagonal anymore. 8 cannot be here, so 8 must be here in this cage, which means 8 has to be one of these two in this cage. So 8 cannot be along this row because of the 1, 6, 8 there. Therefore, it must be one of these digits, and 8 must be there then. So 8 or 9, if this is 159 or 168, this has to be the corresponding 8 or 9 specifically. That doesn't really tell us very much, because this doesn't have to be an 8 or 9, I guess, is kind of the question, right? Right, it could be like 4, 5, 6. It could be 3, 5, 7, 2, 6, 7, any combination. It's just with one that it has to be that way, right? And this can't be 2 and 3 added together, because that would not add up to 15 with another digit. The digit would have to be 15 minus 2 minus 3, which is 10, which is not a digit. Hmm. Okay. What else do we have here? Obviously, if this can't be 1, that means 1 has to be along this diagonal, which means 1 can't be anywhere here. 1 has to be either here or here, which is fine. That means 1 can't be here, so 1 would have to be here. Which means 1 couldn't be here. 1 cannot be along this diagonal. 1 could be here. Or it could be here. Pretty open-ended, so it's not restrictive at all. Yeah, the problem is that there aren't that many restrictions right now. The 6 digits in the diagonals in the corner boxes add up to 47. That's not that restrictive. Oh, wait. Hold on. That is pretty restrictive. Right? There are 6 unique digits along this line and this line. And they add up to 47. Well, 47 minus 21 would be 26 in the one direction. So that's possible. Hmm. Maybe that is fairly restrictive, actually. You could only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at minimum on it for one diagonal. So that gives you 26 for the other diagonal. Um, What digit then cannot be here, right? So for that restriction, again, we have the diagonals, the six digits in each main diagonal in the corner boxes. First of all, they have to be unique across that line, across that diagonal. And then, again, you can only add up to 1 through 7 at most. Sorry, 1 through 6 at least. So that gives you 26 for the other one. What happens if you had a 1 here? If you had a 1 here, then it becomes a minimum 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, which is 27 along both diagonals, and that's not allowed. So this cannot be 1 then here. Obviously, 3 can't be here because of the 3 on that diagonal. What about 2? 2 is 1 plus 3 plus 4, 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. It's 26 times 2 at minimum, would be 52, which is greater. What about 4? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 is 24 times 2 is 48. So 4 cannot be in the central cell. So this is specifically 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. That doesn't tell us too much. Maybe, I don't know. Hold up. Okay, the sum of the diagonals is equal to 2 times 45 minus this digit. Right? Because we have the digits 1 through 9 along each diagonal, but this is shared among the diagonal. That's why you subtract it out. So the sum of the diagonals is essentially 90, which is 45 times 2, minus this digit. And then the sums of these 6 would be essentially 90 minus this twice minus these 4 digits. So the question kind of is, can these digits essentially be not 9? Can you not have a 9 in one of those? Can you not have an 8 in one of those? I guess it's kind of also a corollary too. Probably not would be my guess. But okay, let's 47. That's the sum of the 6 diagonals in the corner. So we have 90 minus this twice minus the sum of these 4 digits must equal 47. What's the max? What's the maximum amount? What's the minimum amount? So if we try to have this 5 doubled, 90 minus 5 doubled is 80, because 5 doubled is 10. 80 minus 6, 7, 8, 9 as a maximum is 50, and that's still too far from 47. So this cannot be 5 doubled. What about 6 doubled? 6 doubled. So we have 90 minus 6 doubled minus 5 minus 7 minus 8 minus 9 is 49. So 6 doubled does not work. What about 7 doubled? I think, yeah, we're probably similar. So 90 minus 7 times 2 minus 5 minus 6 minus 8 minus 9 is 48. So 7 cannot be doubled. Therefore, this must be 8 or 9. Interesting. 90 minus 9 times 2. What's the minimum on the diagonals that have to be there? Minus 8, minus 7, minus 6. The minimum has to be a 4. Right? Minus 47 as the last digit is 4. So these have to be 4 through 9 along these diagonals. Interesting. Huh. What about 8? 8, I think, requires a 9 to be one of these diagonals. So if we have 90 minus 8 times 2, minus 5 minus 6 minus 7 minus 9. Yes, it has to be 5, 6, 7, 9 in that case. So 9 has to be one of these. Does 8 have to be one of them? I think so, right? 90 minus 9 times 2, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 4. Yeah, it's 2. Yeah, it needs an 8. So 8 has to be here. What other diagonals have to be here? Oh, interesting. Okay. If it's 9 in the middle, it has to be with 4, 6, 7, 8 on the corners. If it's 8 in the middle, it has to be with 5, 6, 7, 9 in the corners. So either way, this is 6, 7, 8, and 9 in some combination. So you have to have 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then the only difference is a 4 versus a 5 in one of the corners. That means 3 cannot be here. 3 on this diagonal is either here or one of these two. Interesting. Does that tell us very much? I'm not sure, but it tells us something. Um, that means these digits must be 1 through 5. Interesting. Oh, and we know these 3 digits add up to 16. If this is 8, remember, if this is 8 doubled, we have to have 5, 6, 7, 9 on the corners. Which means this is at most 3, 4, and 8, which adds up to 15, which is too small for these 3 digits here. So this cannot be 8. This is 9. So this is 9 guaranteed. We know it's 9, 4, 6, 7, 8 on the corners. Because it adds up, again, it adds up to 47. That means 4 cannot be here. That means we have a combination to add up to 16. It can't be 1, and it can't be 3. It has to be 2 and 5 to add up to 16. So this can't be 2 or 5. This can't be 2 or 5. That means 3 This 1, 3, this can't be 3 or 9 here, which means this can't be 3 here. So it's either 4, 7, 9, 5, 6, 9, or 5, 7, 8 as possibilities. 3 cannot be here. So 3 has to be here. Because 3 can't be any of these. 3 can't be anywhere here in this cage because it doesn't have a 3. 3 can't be here, so 3 has to be one of these two. Which means this can't be 3 here anymore. This has to contain a 3. So 3 cannot be here, 3 cannot be here. So 3 in box 9 has to be one of these 3 digits here. Interesting. Doesn't really tell us too much, but... this can no longer be 159 here. Still could be 168. Right, what are the possibilities here then? 168 is a possibility, and 3, 4, 8. I think 8 has to be here both times, right? What if we try it without an 8? That would be 7 or 6 here. If we had 7 here as the highest digit, that would mean the other two digits add up to 8. 15 minus 7 is 8. So it's 1, 7, which we already have a 7 there. 2, 6, and 3, 5 are eliminated, so 7 can't be the highest digit. If we try to have 6 as the highest digit, that would have to be 4, 5, and 6. So this has to have an 8. Therefore, this is always an 8, which means this cannot be 8 here. This cannot be 8 here. Therefore, one of these 3 is an 8, so this cannot be 8 here. So one of these 4 has to be an 8, which means one of these 3 is an 8 here. So this is 168 or 348. This has to be 7 in both ways. And it must have 347 or 167. 3 is here. 8 has to be one of these 4. 8 cannot be here because it's one of these 3. It has to be one of these 2 then. Which means 8 can't be any of these. Okay, so 8 can't be here. 8 can't be here. Where is 8 on this positive diagonal? It must be one of these two. So 8 cannot be here. 8 cannot be here on the negative diagonal. 8 must be one of these 3 digits on this negative diagonal. Okay. What does that tell us? I'm not really sure. Tells us something. What? I'm not really sure though. 2 and 5. Three cannot be any of these, so this must contain a 3 here, which means this cannot be 3 in the rest of the box, because we know 3 has to be one of these 3. This must contain a 3. One of these 3 is a 3. This can't be 3, obviously, because of that 3. Oh, that's interesting. If this is 3, 4... 8, that means this is 1. So it cannot contain 2 here because it's one. It doesn't have 2, 3, or 5 here. So if this is 3, 4, that forces this to be 2 and 5 here. Because this is 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be 3 or 4 here. It has to have a 2. So it has to have 2 here. This can't have 5. So this must be 2 and 5 here. Which means this cannot be 2 and 5. It has to be some combination of 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 3 would then have to be here. That seems fine. So 2 is either here or 2 is here. That's interesting. So this cannot be 8 or 9 here. It can't be 3 either. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Still pretty broad. Seven is one of these 3 digits here. That doesn't tell us very much. This can't be 1 here because of the 1, 3 pair. Right. Let's look at the remaining digits here. So the remaining digits have to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's still pretty broad. I think maybe going down the path of what happens if this becomes 3, 4, 8. Seems interesting, right? Then this has to be 1. So it's 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, adding up to 35 for 6 digits. This is 2 and 5 then. So 3, 4, 8, 2, 5, 1 of 6, 7, or 9 is here. 8 is obviously here. 8 is obviously, oh, this can't be 8. Because we know 8 has to be one of these 2 digits here. Since 8 is here, this cannot be 8 here. But 8 still could be here, actually. That doesn't tell us much. What are the digits here? They are 1 through 7. Okay, that doesn't tell us anything either. So if this is 2, 5, that means 2 and 5 cannot be. Oh, that's interesting. So if this is, okay, so again, if this is 3, 4, 8, this has to contain a 1. So it's 1, 4, 6, 7, 9 as possibilities. That means this can't be 3 or 4 here. This can't be 5 or 2. Because, therefore, 3 must be one of these 2. Which means 3 cannot be here. 3 has to be here. And this has to be 2 and 5 here. Right? Because there is no other combination. Because 2 and 5 have to both be here, which means 2 and 5 is here, 2 and 5 is here. This can't be 3 or 4. It's a 1, 6, 7 pair triplet, which eliminates 1, 6, and 7 in the rest of the column. This can't be 2. Can't be 1 or 2. So 1 and 2 both have to be here. This can't be 1 or 2 then. 1 and 2 have to be here then, which means this cannot contain 1 or 2. This is 2, 5, and 3. That adds up to 10. The other remaining digits add up to 29 minus 10, which is 19. If you can't have 1 with 2 other digits adding up to 19. And 6, 7, 8, which is the minimum without a 4, adds up to 21. So it would have to be 4. So obviously this wouldn't have a 4 here. So it would be 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. No 1s though. This would have to have a 4 here. Means... So far this is looking fine. This can't be 2. 2 is one of these 3. 2 is one of these 5. 1 is one of these 3. 1 is one of these 5. So only 1 out of 1 or 2 can be here. And it has to be essentially one of these, right? 3 is one of those 2. 3 is here, 3 is here. So 3 cannot be here, 3 cannot be here, 3 can't be here, 3 has to be here. This is 3, which makes this 1, which makes that 3. I kind of already knew that. 3, 2, 5. Again, you have to have 3 digits adding up to 19, and one of them has to be 4. So it's either 4 with 6 or 9, or 4 with 7 or 8. So 7 and 6 can't be here. So if it's 4 with 6 or 9, four with 7 and 8. 6 or 7 has to be here. But we don't know which it is. This cannot contain both 8 and 9 here, so one of 8 or 9 has to be here. Obviously, you don't have 3. 2 and 5 are here. So the other one is 4 along with it. Which means we're missing... This is 1, 2, 3, 4 then. It cannot be both 8 and 9. Because so this is cannot be 2, 4, 5. Right? Because 3, 8, 9 already adds up to 20. Plus 1 and 2 and 4 at minimum. So this has to be 4, which means this can't be 4 here. 4 can't be either of these. 4 is one of those two. This is 8 or 9. Which means this can't be 8 or 9. This is then 4, which means this can't be 4. So 4 would have to be here. 3, 4. This must be missing 5. It's missing 5. This can't be 1 or 2. Cannot be 1 or 2. We're missing 5 and 6, 9, or 5, 7, 8. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10. That means this must be 6 or 7 here. So far, this is okay right now. Hmm. 3, well, we already knew that. 3 had to be one of those two. Obviously, 3 can't be here. 2 and 5 are both here. We have a 1, 2, 4, 6 quintuplet in column 9, then, if that's the case. So this can't be 1, 2, 5, or 6. This then has to be 5, 8, or 9 here. We know 2 has to be one of these two. This can't be 2 then. 9 obviously can't be here. So this is specifically 5 or 8 here. 9 can't be here. Where is the 9? The 9 has to be here. So we have 3 and 9 here, and the other 3 digits add up to 27 minus 3 minus 9, which is 15, which is basically every possibility. 1 and 2 cannot be here. That's interesting. So 1 and 2 can't be here. They can't be along this diagonal. Therefore, 1 and 2 both have to be on this diagonal, which means 1 and 2 cannot be here. 1 and 2 have to be here. This cannot contain a 2. Actually, it could contain a 2. 1 and 2 are both here. 1 out of 1 or 2 is here. The other one is here, which means 1 out of the 1 or 2 is here. So this is still fine. Okay. Wait, why can't this be 2? Oh, because, yeah, of the 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 quintuplet. This is 4, so 4 cannot be here. 4 can't be here, so 4 has to be one of these 3 digits here. We know there's a 4 here, though, so 4 cannot be here. So 4 is either here or 4 is there. We're not sure which. This is still looking fine, actually. Maybe going down the other path would lead to more of a contradiction. I don't know. 1 has to be here, so 1 cannot be here. So 1 has to be one of those 3. This obviously can't be 1. 9 cannot be here, but it still could be here. Yeah. Yeah, this looks fine right now. Hmm. Dang, I was hoping this would lead me to a contradiction, but it's not. It's just, yeah. 4 cannot be here or here. 4 cannot be here. So we know one of these 3 is a 4. We know one of these 2 is a 4, so 4 cannot be in the rest of rows 8 and 9. Sorry, rows 7 and 8. Therefore, this must be a 5. It's either 5, 6, 9 or 5, 7, 8. So 5 must be here, 4 must be one of these 3. This obviously can't be 5. 5 is one of these 3. 5 still could be there or there. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not providing the results I was hoping for. I mean, this still looks very valid, which is what I didn't want. I was looking for an invalid something, which some contradiction, which would lead to essentially not being able to go down this route. But we were able to go down this route, so okay. What happens? Okay. What happens if we assume this is 3, 4 then? So we remove 2 and 5 from the rest of this box. Therefore, 2 can't be here. 2 can't be here. This must contain a 2. Which means 2 has to be here, so 2 cannot be here. Since 2 is here, it cannot have 1 here also, because then the minimum missing amounts would be 3, 4, and 5, which added up to 12, which is not allowed. So this has to be 1, 6, 8, which means this is 3, 4, 7. 1 cannot be here. 2 has to be here. 6 is missing here. So we know 6 has to be here, because this cage requires a 6. So the rest of this cannot be 6. We don't know if there's a 6 or not here. This can't be 6, though, so if there's a 6, it has to be here. This can't be 6, obviously. 3, 4, 7. This is 2. So it's missing 136 or 145. We're not sure which. This is 2. It could have 3 or 4. It could have 7 or 9. This can't be 3, so this cannot contain 3. Therefore, this is what? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, adding up to 25, because there's no 3 involved. This can't be 4, 7. we know then where's the 9 in row 4? It has to be here. So 9 has to be one of these here then. So this can no longer contain 9, which means the 9 must be here, which means 9 cannot be here. So 9 has to be one of these 4 digits here in box 2. This is 1, 2, 5, 6. 4 and 7 are both here, right? Because it have to be 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1 and 2. This then can't be 4 or 7. It's 1 or 5. Okay. So far, this is looking fine. This is 5 or 6, and we cannot have... Or both, actually, I guess. This has to have 8 and 9. Oh, that's interesting. Can you have 5 or 6 with that? So 9 cannot be here. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 8 and 9. That's 17. That means the other 4 digits must add up to 12, right? 29 minus 17 is 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 4, 5. So either way, this requires a 9, then, it seems. Huh. Interesting. Not helpful, but interesting. This is 1, 2, 5, 6. We need a 3. So 3 does have to be here, which means this cannot be 3 here. Actually, we don't necessarily need a 3. Dang it. Okay. Well, 9 does have to be here. This could be 3, and then we have 4 as a possibility here. That's not guaranteed that 3 has to be there anyways. This is 1, 2, 5, or 6. 2 has to be here, so 2 cannot be here. So 2 has to be here, which means 2 cannot be here, which means 2 has to be one of these 3 digits here. So this cannot be 2 and 6. Well, technically it still could, right? You could have 1 here also. Two has to be here, though. 2 is here, 2 is here. 2 cannot be here. Four and 7 are here, so this cannot be 4 and 7. Ah, okay, so where's the 4 or 7 in this cage? The 4 and 7 in this cage has to be here, so 4 cannot be here. 4 has to be here, which means this cannot be 4. Any of these. So this has to be a 4 here, which means this can't be 4. We need a 5 here. 5 can't be any of these. Therefore, this has to be 5, so this cannot be 5. This is 1 or 6 here. This is 1 or 6. 4 is here. 4 has to be here. 7 cannot be here. So, well, 7 could be here, or it could be along this line. 9 is here. So 9 is one of these 4. 9 cannot be here. Aha, and we have a contradiction. Okay, that's what we were looking for. So, 9 having to be here, because this can't be 9 because it has to be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, because the 3, 4 are eliminated here. So this can never contain a 3. Therefore, at minimum, it's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is already adding up to 25. Therefore, 9 can't be here, 9 can't be here, 9 must be here, so 9 cannot be here, 9 cannot be along this diagonal, so it must be in this 37 cage here, which means this can't be 9, so 9 has to be here. But we know this 25 cage can't contain a 9. You can't have a 9 on this diagonal because that's a 9. And we can't have a 9 in this cage, so there's no place for the 9 in box 3. And that's the contradiction. So that was assuming this was a 3-4 cage. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 cage. So it cannot be 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. It still could be 2. Well, we know it's guaranteed to be 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 cannot be here. We still don't know what this is or this, but we know 3 has to be one of these two digits, which means 3 cannot be here, so this has to be a 3. That's interesting. So it's guaranteed to be 3. This can't be 3. One of these two has to be a 3 here. 3 cannot be here. 3 still could actually be here. We don't know. So this is a 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cage. We just don't know whether this is both 2 and 5 here or there's a 2 here, right? What happens if we assume this is 1, 6, 8 then? Because the other path seems fine. So let's try this. What happens if this is 1, 6, 8? If this is 1, 6, 8, 3 and 4 are both required to be here. Oh, that's interesting. Then that would require this to not to have 1, 2. It would have to have 3 digits that don't have it. So it'd have to be 1, 2, and 7 then that are missing. So this has to be 5 or 9 remaining. This can't be 6, obviously. This is 5 or 9. This is 5 or 9. So the 7 could not be here. This would be specifically 3. And we have a 4, 7 pair here. We'd have a similar problem, actually, I think. This doesn't have a 3. This is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 and 7 have to be here, so 2 and 7 can't be here. So this can't be 2, 7, 4. This has to be the 1, 5, and 6. Because there's no 3 here. This 1, 5, 6 eliminates 5 here. This is 2, 7, 9. So this is 3, 4, 5, which forces this to be 6, 8, and 9 here. Okay, so far that's looking okay. This is 1, this is 3, this 1, 5, 6 eliminates 6 here, so this is 4, this is 8. This has to be 6 or 7. No, 2, 4, 7 here, which means 2, 4, and 7 can't be here. This can't be 9. This is a 5, 6, 8 triplet, which eliminates 5 and 6 in the box. So this is not 5. So 5 has to be here, which means 5 cannot be in the rest of box 2. 4 can't be here specifically. 8 can't be here. 4 is one of these 3, because 4 cannot be here. 3 is here. This can't be 5 or 6, so this is 1. which means 1 cannot be either of these. This is either 2, 7 or 3, 7 here. Sorry, it's 2, 3 or 3, 7. Either way, 3 has to be one of these two. 3 has to be one of these. Okay, so this is... What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Obviously, 3 cannot be here. 1 can't be here. 1 can't be here. We have a 6, 8, and 9 triplet, which eliminates 6, 8, and 9 in the rest of the column 1, and that would then eliminate all possibilities for this cage here. So, that shows that that's not possible. Okay. So, we know from that then... This cannot be 168. This has to be 348 here. So we know that's guaranteed now. So this cannot be 3 or 4. This is 167. This can't be 3. This has to be a 3 because that's the only place where it can be remaining. So this is 1. This is 3. That means neither of these can be 1. So 1 has to be one of these here. This 3, 4, 8 eliminates 3, 4, and 8 here. So 1 has to be here. We know this is 1. Therefore, 2, 3, and 5 are missing in this cage. So 2 and 5 cannot be here. 2 and 5 both have to be here. So this can't be 2, 5. This can't be 2, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. 2 and 5 have to be here, which forces 2 and 5 to be here. So again, this is 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 4 has to be one of these 3. And 1 cannot be here. Yeah, maybe I could have done something with the, I don't know, something here. I'm not sure. It did look interesting that the way that we ran into the contradiction was that this set of 5 was problematic. But anyways, this is 3, 4, 8. This is 1, 6, 7. Therefore, the 1 has to be here. Therefore, this can't be 1. So this can't be 1 here. We know the 8 is one of these 3. Actually, we already knew that before. This can't be 8. So this is 3. This is 2 and 5. Again, you can't have 1 with this because then you'd have 2 digits remaining adding up to 18, which is not allowed. And 1, so 1 cannot be here. You already have 2, 3, and 5. You can't have 6, 7, 8 as the remaining because that adds up to 21. Added to 10 adds up to 31, which is greater than this cage can be. So 4 has to be here. It has to be 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 14. And the other 2 digits are 6, 9, or 7, 8. Well, 6, 7 have to be here. And if we try to make this 4, the problem is that would... Okay, so 2 can't be here. Because 2 has to be here, and 5 has to be here. If we try to make this 8 and 9, that doesn't add up. Because 3, 8, 9 already adds up to 20. And 1 and 2 plus 4 at minimum adds up to 7. So that would be 27. So this can't be 8 and 9, which means one of these is 8 or 9. And therefore, the 4 has to be one of these. Well, in this cage, we still need a 4. So 4 then has to be here with the 6 or 7. Therefore, this can't be 4 here. Therefore, this is a 4 here, which means 4 cannot be here or here. This has 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means the other 2 digits must add up to 15. So it's either 6 and 9 or 7 and 8. Well, 6 and 7 both can't be here, so this is 8 or 9. And this must be 1, 2 with 6 or 7 remaining. And then again, we have the 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 quintuplet in column 9, which eliminates 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 in the rest of the column. This can't be 2. This has to be 5, 8, or 9, but it can't be 9 because of the 9 on the diagonal. 2 then has to be one of these two, so this cannot be 2. This can't be 2 either. It's 4, 6, 5, 6, or 7, which means that's the same. 2 has to be one of these two digits. 1 has to be one of these three. That doesn't tell us very much. 4 has to be one of these two, obviously. So 4 is one of these. 4 has to be one of these three, which eliminates 4 here. So that's the same thing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 has to be one of these three. 4 has to be one of these three. 5 cannot be here anymore. This is either 5, 6, 9 or 5, 7, 8. We're not sure which. This is 8 or 9. 8 has to be one of these. 2 has to be here, so 2 cannot be here. So 2 has to be in this cage here. And 1 has to be in this cage. So 1 and 2 both cannot be in this cage here. So 1 or 2 is here. 1 or 2 is here. That means only one of 1 or 2 is here, right? Because again, this cage needs a 1 and 2, but this cage also needs a 1 and 2, and the 1 and 2 has to be here. So one of these is a 4. One of these is 1 or 2. One of these is 1 or 2, but that doesn't tell us too much. This is 3. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 1 out of 6, 7, or 9. This is 6 or 7. This is 6, 7, or 8. This is 8 or 9. One and 2 cannot be here, right? Because 1 or 2 is here in this cage. So 1 and 2 cannot be here or here. So 1 and 2 have to be in box 7 along the diagonal. So this can't be 1 or 2, which means 1 or 2 has to be here. 3 has to be here. It's already knew all that. 1 and 2 cannot be here. 1 has to be here. So 1 cannot be here. 1 has to be here. 2 still could be here. That's fine. Either way, 9 cannot be here, and 9 can't be here, so 9 is one of these three. 9 can't be on this diagonal. And it can't be in this here, so this has to be an 8-9 pair here. Because those are the only places for it. Therefore, in this box, we have to have a 9 here. So 9 cannot be here. So 9 has to be one of these three, and we already know one of these three is a 9. So this can't be 9. Therefore, this is a 9. That makes this a 5, 6 pair to add up with the 9 in this cage. That eliminates 6 in the rest of the column and the box. 5 cannot be either of these. 8 has to be one of these 4. Well, we already knew that. This is 8, 9. Okay, so this is missing either 4, 9, 5, 8, or 6, 7. 4 and 8. Okay. The rest of this is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This is 4. This is 4. So one of these three is a 4. This is 8, but one of these three could be an 8. The remaining digits here are 4, 5, 6, and 7. The remaining digits here are, so we have 1, 2 with 4, 5, 6, or 7 here also. But 4 cannot be here. Okay. These digits have to be 3, 9 pair because those are the only digits remaining there. So, right. 3 and 9 cannot be here. 3 has to be one of these. 9 has to be one of these. Only one of 1 or 2 is here, right? Because you can't have both because this needs to have 1 out of 1 or 2. Right, 9 can't be here, 9 can't be here. This must be 3, 9. So 9 cannot be here. Since 9 cannot be here, where is the 9 in box 1? It has to be one of these 3 cells, which eliminates 9 from the rest of that cage, which means where's the 9 in row 4? It has to be here. So this is 9, which means this can't be 9. We have a 2, 5, 8 triplet, which eliminates 8 from the rest of the row. Therefore, where's the 8 on the positive diagonal? It must be here. This is 2, 5 with 6 or 7 here. This is 9. This is 8 and 9 here. 9 is here. Therefore, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 9. So 6 cannot be here anymore. Sorry, 7 can't be here anymore. 6 can't be these 3. So this can't be 6 here. This 2, 5, 8 means this is 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, and 8, which adds up to 18. So this must be 4 and 7. So this 4, 7 pair eliminates 4 and 7 in the rest of the column. This can't be 7. It also eliminates 4 and 7 here. Or here. This can't be 4 because of the 4 in the column. The remaining digits in box 9 are 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Obviously, 9 cannot be on the diagonal. 8 can't be in the rest of this box. That's actually interesting, then. Maybe that we can use this as a limiting factor, then. We know we have 3, we have 9. You can't have 1 here. If we had a 1 here, it would have to be with 1, 6, and 8, because we already have a 9 in the cage. But 8 can't be here, and 8 can't be here. Therefore, you can't have a 1. So this cannot be 1, which means 1 has to be on this diagonal. Since 1 is on this diagonal, 1 can no longer be on this negative diagonal, which means 1 has to be in this cage. Since 1 is in this cage, it's missing specifically 2 and 6. 2 and 6 cannot be in the rest of this cage. So this is 1, 4, 5, 7, 8. 3 is here, and then we have to have 2. So this is a 2, 3 pair. That eliminates 2 and 3 from the rest of the diagonal. Therefore, this is 2. It has 2, 9, 3, which means the remaining 3 digits must add up to 27. Sorry, it's remaining 2 digits must add up to 27 minus 2, 3, and 9. That's 14. So they must add up to 13. Well, we can't have 2, 9. We can't have 4, 9. We can't have 5, 8 because 8's not allowed in the cage, and we already have a 9. So it must be 6 and 7. So this must be 2, 6, 9. That's a 2, 6, 9 triplet, which eliminates 2, 6, and 9 in the rest of the box. So this can't be 6. It's a 1, 5, 8 triplet, which eliminates 1, 5, and 8 from the rest of the diagonal. So this can't be 5. This is a 4, 7 pair. This must be 3 and 7 specifically. So this is a 3, 7 pair. 4 must be in this We also knew this had to have a 9. So this can't be 9 here. So this has to have a 9. 5 has to be one of these two digits, so 5 cannot be here. So where's the 5 in box 7? It has to be here. So these 7 digits, adding up to 32, again, you're excluding 2. You have a 5, you have a 9, and a 4. So this must be excluding 6 and 7. So this must be a 359 triplet here. This then must be excluding 7. We have 1, 2, 4, and 8. This 3, 7 pair eliminates 7 here. These can't be 7. We know we need a 7 in this cage. Well, it could be here, too. This matches here. This matches one of these two, and it cannot match here. So this is not 3 or 9. Therefore, this is a 4 or 7. Where is the 8 then? Because it has to match the green. It has to be here. So this is 8. This cannot be 8. We already knew that, though. So this can't be 8 here. So this is 1, 4, 5, and 7. We have a 1, 4, 5, 7 triplet, which eliminates 1, 4, 5, and 7 in the rest of box 1. So this can't be 7. This is a 6, 8, and 9 triplet, which eliminates 6, 8, and 9 from the rest of the cage. This becomes a 2, 5, 7 triplet, which eliminates 2, 5, and 7 from the rest of the cage and the row. So this can't be 7. This can't be 7. This is 6, which makes this 4, which makes that 7. We don't know what these greens are. So the green could be here or it could be here. And in fact, this 7 eliminates 7 here. So this is 5. This can't be 5 or 7. So this is 4, which means the greens are all 7s. So this can't be 7 here. Wait, that doesn't work. No, it does work because this is 7. Okay. So this can't be 7 here. This is a 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 quintuplet. This 5 eliminates 5 here and here. 4 cannot be here because of this 4. This 169 triplet eliminates 169 in the rest of the cage. So this can't be 7 here because of the 4, 7, 8 triplet. We have a 3 set. This 4 eliminates 4 in the rest of the column. So 4 has to be one of these two digits here, which means this can't be 4. This is a 1, 5 pair, which eliminates 1 and 5 in the rest of the row. So this can't be 5. This can't be 1 or 5. This is a 2, 4, 6 triplet. This 1, 5 pair eliminates 1 here, so this is a 4. This 2, 4, 6 triplet eliminates 2, 4, and 6 in the rest of the page. So this must be 1, which makes this a 5. This 1 eliminates 1 here. So this is 2 or 6. This one, we have a 5 here, which eliminates 5 here. So this is 2, this is 5. This 2 eliminates 2 here. So this is 6. Neither of these can be 6. This can't be 8. This is 2 or 4. Okay. Okay. 7 cannot be either of these two cells in column 1, so it's a 4, 8 pair now, which eliminates 4 and 8 in the rest of the column and the rest of the box. This can't be 8, this is 7. This can't be 8 either, so this is 6, 9 pair. That eliminates 6 and 9 in the rest of column 1. This can't be 6 or 9, so this is 1. That eliminates 6 and 9 here, so this can't be 1 or 6, so this is 2. Neither of these can be 2 anymore. This 1 eliminates 1 here. And this 6, 9 pair eliminates 6 and 9 in the same box, so this is 8. That eliminates 8 here. This 2 eliminates 2 here. And it can't be 7 because of the 7 in the column. This can't be 7 either, so this becomes 5. This is 2, this is 7. The 2 eliminates 2 here, so this is 3, 2. The 3 eliminates 3 here. It's 9, 3. This 9 eliminates 9 here. It's 6, 9. The 6 eliminates 6 here. It's 2, which makes this a 1, 6 pair. This 7 eliminates 7 here. So this is 4. This is 7. 4 eliminates 4 here. It's 8 and 4, which makes this a 3. That's 4. That's 8. This can't be 3. 8 eliminates 8 here. 5, 8, 5, 8. Obviously, neither of these can be 4. 2 cannot be either of these, so this must be a 4, which makes this a 2, which makes that a 4. This can't be 2 or 4 because of this 4. These can't be 2 here. That's a 6, 9 pair, which eliminates 6 and 9 in the rest of box 9. So this is 2. That eliminates 2 here, which forces this to be a 2 here. This 2 eliminates 2 here. Where's a 2 in row 6? It has to be here. And we're just doing Sudoku now. This can't be 7 because of this 7, so this must be a 7 here. Actually, it's not... well, yeah, it is Sudoku now. It's just... obviously, neither of these can be 2. This can't be 5 because of the 5 in the column. We have a 1, 8, 1, 8 pair in row 8, which eliminates 1 and 8 in the rest of the row. So this is 6, this is 1, which makes this a 5. That makes this 6 and 5. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so it's 8 and 1. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 5 and 8. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 9 and 8. 9 eliminates 9 here, so it's 6 and 9. 6 eliminates 6 here, it's 1 and 6, which makes this 1 and 6 here. This 1 eliminates 1 here, it's 5 and 1. 6 eliminates 6 here, it's 9 and 6, which makes that a 5. These can't be 5 or 9, so it's 3. This can't be 3 or 5, so it's 9. This 1 eliminates 1 here, so it's 8 and 1. 3 eliminates 3 here, it's 7, and that's a 3. I hope you enjoyed the trip supposed to be through New York. I'm not sure why this is a trip through New York. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the New York City is a reference to, where it's referenced really. Maybe these are subway lines. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that was definitely hard. Very cool the way that it sort of interacted though altogether. But I wish, I don't know. Maybe there was an easier way than going through the different possibilities of these two. I liked this central part, though, where you had to sum up the sums, and they had to add up to a certain amount. That was pretty cool. That was really, I think, the main break-in. And then once you got that, you knew this added up to 16, so that limited things. That forced this to be 8, which forced that logic here. So that was pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, or this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.